Hey everybody, let's take a look at the 40th anniversary edition of the Gshock Full Metal Squares that just came out. I've been looking forward to this for quite some time now. We obviously knew they were coming because it's the 40th anniversary, 40 years since 1983, 40 years since this guy came out here. This is the original DW5000 that I'm lucky enough to own. Love this watch. It's been through a lot. It's been reconditioned. Really, really cool. Every 5 years, in case you don't know, Casio comes out with an anniversary edition. I have some of the 35th anniversary watches, and I set some money aside knowing that the 40th was on its way. As soon as these were announced, I knew I had to have them. Wednesday, they became available for purchase in the United States, and I bought it right away, and I had it Thursday morning. Busy week, though, so I'm only getting to it now. This is the full metal gold, what do they call it? Speckled, fleckled, I don't know. They use some word. They come in these really cool boxes. I haven't seen these yet. These are the 40th anniversary edition boxes. Pretty cool, like this granite, fake granite, it's plastic, container in this little linen bag. I haven't seen that before. Really, really cool. Yeah, let's get them all out here. This is the gold one. They also have a silver one. These cases are kind of cool. I feel like if you just had one of these things, I would absolutely store it in this case. Maybe. It's not padded. There we go. That's the silver or steel one. I think what's special about these is the process for making this kind of metal. If you've ever seen that corrugated steel, it looks like it would have a texture, but it absolutely does not. It's super smooth. Where's the entrance? Yeah. Really, really cool. I don't know how to describe it. It's smoother than any of the other ones. It's not matte. It feels like it has no texture. It's perfectly soft. But yeah, these are not, well, I don't want to spend 20 minutes just unwrapping, but I do want you to be able to see. Really, really cool. Put them up side by side. The camera will hopefully, yeah, focus on the two of them. Wow, really, really cool. I'm going to show some comparison shots with the other steel and gold models, but I do want to kind of just mention first, the point of these watches is not really to be an everyday piece for everyone. They're not cheap, right? They're, I think, for the Gshock enthusiast, the square enthusiast, but beyond that, I think they're for the watch enthusiast. If you are like me, you appreciate watches in general, and you appreciate a nice stainless steel watch with really nice finishings, but you're still attached to Casio. You still have that Gshock bug. These scratch it really, really well. We'll take a look at the back there and get that serial number on there. I feel like I don't want to show people the serial number, but I have no idea what that could actually do. So the back has the same kind of textured metal. I feel like the metal is just ground up into little bits and then pressed together somehow, but you don't feel it at all. Really, really cool. Yeah, so these are like prestige pieces. They're not for everybody. I picked these up because I think if you're looking for a square, that's a good first square for everybody. These are some good choices here. This is the GW5000. It's a full metal square on the inside, but with a resin bezel, IP-coated screw back. This has, solar and everything you could want. This guy right here, this is the GWM 5610. Same thing, solar, multiband. You have that thin red line, just like the original guy. Those are like $100 and $200. Those are the Gshocks for everybody. These are the Gshocks for, I don't know, weirdos, right? But people who really appreciate Gshock, Casio, but are looking to take it up to the next level. I only say that because I've seen some feedback on these watches saying, oh, how come this one I'm about to unbox here doesn't have solar or anything? Yeah, that's kind of not the point. They come out with these prestige watches every once in a while, and they're meant to be appreciated on a different level. So this one kind of borrows elements from both of the originals. The one version here, it's black steel pushers and everything, the brick pattern, the red line. But there was another version which had which I don't have, which has kind of yellow printing and gold accents. This watch kind of combined them really nicely. You have the gold accents. There's a star on the side here. Even the screws, just like the original. I thought this was kind of neat. The case itself is gold IP coated. They didn't have to do that. It only shines out in the back here, but that's a really nice touch. And you have the speckled metal. I'm totally using the wrong word. In their marketing, they use something else. Pixelated metal. Really, really cool. You can see the screen has a texture on it. So this watch does not have solar, and it does not have atomic multiband sync. For some people, that's a negative, but it kind of makes it a more timeless watch. It's fully autonomous on its own. The battery's going to last many years. And also, that original didn't have solar or anything. For 20 years, people wore Gshock squares without solar, without multi-sync. Yeah, there you go. That's the new 40 anniversary logo. That's made by Eric Hayes. He makes those logos every couple of years. You also have this pretty cool, I'm just going to keep on saying speckled metal buckle. Let's get this little tang off. Another little point of contention. I think these metal buckles are not practical, but this watch is not trying to be practical. There you go. 4 stars, 4 out of 5 stars to themselves since 1983. And on the dial here it says Project Team Tough. All or most of the anniversary watches say that. That was the name of the project inside Casio, led by, I think his name's pronounced Kikwa Ibe, who started Gshock. It was the Project Team Tough. Really, really cool. So this is, in some ways, pretty pedestrian, right? It's a black resin case, red line. You just have the gold screen, the gold pushers. The movement should be the same movement, 3421. I think that's in a bunch of watches. Your standard, I don't think I want to go through this on all of them, but your standard time, alarm, timer, stopwatch, and that's that. But really cool. The strap on this is of the premium kind used on the GW 5000. It's slightly more supple, improved than this guy right here. Not very different. They're both perfectly fine. Yeah, the 5610, it's a resin case with a panel back. It's held in place with 4 screws, but the case itself is resin. But most of these other watches, it's a steel case with a screw back, just like the original. That's the difference between 5000 and 5600. These are all 5000s because they're stainless steel case. The 5600 means that it's a plastic case. Today, if you go back in time, that's not true. But that's a really cool little watch. Let's actually put it on my wrist. I'm wearing the big guy. This is the MRG 5000. Totally love this watch. No regrets on it. I thought long and hard about it, but I wear this a lot. This does not stay in some of these are not going to get a ton of wear. They get some wear, but not a ton. This guy stays in a secure place. But I'm wearing this all the time, and there's like not a scratch on it. Lovely coating on this. But let's get some of the new ones on. Really, really cool. And then let's compare it with some of the other full metal G-Shocks. Alrighty. You know what? I've been wearing these things for years, and I still take a couple seconds to put them on. I don't know. Let's just do that. Way cool. That's a 7.5-inch wrist. And I think to some people prefer the other G-Shocks that are much larger, but to me, I have some other G-Shocks. They're over here on display. I'm definitely in the square camp. Some of those other ones I do like. They're square-ish, or the octagon. But that looks really, really cool. I definitely prefer the square because of its size. I think it's 45 millimeter, but it doesn't feel like it. It wears really well on all wrists. It's just, the first, the original, and still the best. All right, let's get a look on the steel. These, of course, have a nice bracelet. They're not yet sized. I just took them out of the box. Oh, I didn't show you the box for this thing. Real quick. It came in a G box. Like, kind of neat, but also a little awkward how it fit in here. It was inside of another linen cloth. Pretty fun. Wow, that's really cool. I love the high contrast between the negative display and the light metal bezel and bracelet. Only the full metal G-Shocks, these four here, have the STN display. I think that's super twisted pneumatic or something with an N. They're very high contrast, so they're probably the only kind of negative digital display that I like. You could see them at pretty sharp angles, and why am I? Would be nice. I am planning on getting a nice setup of lights here where I could turn them on and off while I'm at the camera. My lights are on the ceiling, so I can't do that, but way cool. Really good contrast, nothing wrong with that. Let's take a look at the gold one. I should say MSRP, yeah, not cheap, 870. I wish I could say that over time they'll come down. Most of them do, but the anniversary edition watches tend not to. I don't know how well received these are, but all of the 35th anniversary watches have gone up in price. I do not think you should ever buy a watch purely for its investment potential. But if you are of means to have a watch and you like it and you're going to wear it, at least sometimes, then it's a nice bonus knowing that it's going to go up in value. So I wouldn't be surprised if these do. I'm pretty sure they're all limited. All three of these are limited. That looks really, really nice. They've come out with a couple of gold watches over the years. Let me see if I can get a really good close-up of this speckling. Look at that. That's just cool. Now, there's two ways to look at this. There's one way to look at it and say, I want to buy a watch that has an appearance that I like, that it's going to be on my wrist. And if you had asked me before I saw this, hey, do you want something a little sparkly and speckly? I probably would have said no. But the reason why you appreciate something like this is that it's hard to make. And they're trying something new, right? Metallurgy is still not, you got a nice view of my ceiling lights there. Metallurgy, or just making new textures, is just not simple. They definitely try a whole bunch of things, and I'm glad that they are. I'm glad that they're not just making this watch. I'm glad that they're making this watch, but I'm also glad that they're doing all these others. Really, really cool. I should have zoomed in on the others. Let's get a nice close-up of some of the other watches, and then let's compare them to the other stainless and gold. Look at that. Really cool. I gotta say, I love these bracelets on the full metal. I think they did such a good job of capturing that integrated taper of that original. Yeah, close up, that original doesn't look as impressive. Like, you could see engineering-wise how much has changed. But just that multi-segment here, that integrated style, I think they captured really well in this. Let's take a look at the back. You can see it there. It's a different color, though. I wonder how they do that, if that's not a coating or that's kind of impregnated into the metal. And then back to this guy, the 40th. Oh, this is the DW 5040. DW 5040 PG. Not too sure quite yet what that is. $300 I think is totally fair, considering it's a 40th. I think these are going to disappear, and then that price is going to slowly drift upwards over the next 10 years. You see, it's not, I wouldn't call it sparkly. I'd call it speckly. There's a bit of sparkle to it, but it's more so speckly, right? I think from a distance, I don't even know. Like, If you're 20 feet away, I don't think you're going to notice that there's a speckle. It's something that you could appreciate when it's on your wrist. Really, really cool. All right, now I just want to compare it to this one right here, nicknamed the Bling Master by some. This is a polished case, although the links here on have a very light brushing on them, and the bezel has a brushing. That's really cool. I would say this is the shiny one. That's it's still has more bling than this. Not that that's a thing that I want or don't want. I just think from an engineering, from a craftsmanship perspective, it's just really, really impressive. Let's take a look. Let's compare these. This watch that I'm holding in my left here, normally the negative display version that comes on steel comes on rubber or resin. I bought the bracelet that came with the positive display version. So this is, as it's configured, is not something that you buy normally. But yeah, I think the new versions are a little less sparkly, less shiny. They probably draw a little less attention at a distance. But up close, I think you could appreciate just how that was made. Really, really cool. Yeah, is it for everyone? Probably not. But when you know the history of the thing and when you could appreciate the work that went into it, it's for somebody. And that's why it's limited, right? They're not making millions of them. This one is the GMW B5000 PS. It doesn't have 40 there, which surprises me, but it is one of the 40th anniversary models. So the PS, and this is the PG. So I'm guessing the G is gold, the S is steel. The P means sparkly. I don't know. We'll never know all the details of the mysteries of the Casio Gshock naming system. We can know a lot, though. Anyways, that's it. That's my 40th anniversary, and that's what constitutes a review for me. I'm not going to get out the calipers. You can look up all that stuff. But really, really cool watches. Let's have the parting shot here, maybe. Maybe the thumbnail. Oh, get away. Yeah. Beautiful, wonderful little watches. Glad I picked these up. If you fancy these, pick them up while you can. This one's definitely going to go up in value. The fact that these are 870, it's already up there. I have a feeling. I have a feeling you're not going to find them half off. Let's say that. Okay. Very good. Thank you very much.